What's up, you guys, and welcome to the Everything Travel Nurse Show. I'm your host, Travel Nurse Gary.
And I'm Canadian Nurse
What
Gary.
are you doing?
And this week's...
No, you're not supposed to be on this. This is my
I'm on the show too?
No, it's not how it's supposed to go.
Well, this is my show. I do all the editing.
No.
Watch this.
What's up, you guys, and welcome to the Everything Canada Show. This week, we're talking about the best that South Buffalo, New York has for Canadian salsa dancing. Stick around, that's coming up next.
Alright then. Welcome to the Everything Travel Nurse Show then.
Hello, and welcome to the Everything Travel Nurse Show, a show dedicated to educate and entertain nurses who are inspired by travel nursing. I'm a world traveler and been on the road now for over 3 years. My name is Travel Nurse Gary. I believe that you can do this too, and I'm here to help you along your journey. Travel Nurse Gary, where do I start? So in today's episode, we're going to be talking about the first step of travel nursing, and that is having a dream. And for every single travel nurse, before there was travel nursing, before you were off in Italy, before you were taking time off to vacation in Rome, before there was travel nursing in LA, New York, wherever your destinations may be, it all started off with a dream. And that's really the first step for all the travel nurses. Maybe you want to go to Hawaii, maybe you want to go to Denver, maybe you want to go to New York or LA cities. All throughout the US, they have different opportunities, and you'll be able to find those opportunities as a travel nurse. Now, my main goal as a travel nurse was to be able to travel across the USA, have a company pay for it, and just wanted time off to go travel internationally. I could never do that as a staff nurse. So those are the reasons why I became a travel nurse, and that was my dream, and I've been able to accomplish that. Maybe you don't know your dream, or maybe you're in search of your dream. That's what today's episode is all about. And let's start off one of my favorite cities, Boston. So here we are overlooking Boston, and I just think that this is such a beautiful city, and I love visiting in the fall when the weather is absolutely perfect. You can go down to the Boston Commons to get beautiful views of Boston State House. The food here is absolutely fantastic. I love the Italian food in this city. And the Freedom Trail, it has 17 major historical sites along it, including the graves of Samuel Adams. Even the sandcastles are beautiful. I love visiting Boston in the fall. Put it on your list of cities to visit. Now, this is the first city I ever traveled to as a nurse, and this is Los Angeles. I love LA. In LA, it's just a normal thing to be walking down the street, and you'll just pass a celebrity like, oh, there goes LL Cool J. No big deal. They also have really great sports in the city. I love going and see Dodgers games. So much fun. I remember hearing the first time LeBron James talk about Taco Tuesday in LA. Man, I know what you're talking about, LB. The food there and the tacos, oh man, it's so amazing. Love it. They have beautiful parks located all throughout the city with beautiful views overlooking the city. Love spending my time in Venice Beach too. How many movies do you know have been shot there? Now, the gardens are absolutely beautiful as well, and I want to recommend two. There's the LA Arboretum, which is beautiful, and the second one is going to be the Huntington Gardens. They actually do have a Gutenberg Bible in this gardens, and then now, when you're visiting LA, one of the insider tips is that they have beautiful street art, and when you go there, make sure you look at the Colette Miller Angel Wings. They're located all throughout the city. It's an absolute must when visiting the City of Angels. Now, the next city on our list is Washington, D.C. I really have never spent a lot of time here. They have 17 museums that are free part of the Smithsonian. I've never visited any of them. So I'll be back for you, D.C. Here's a cool little photo of Nomad Nurse Denise and I after shooting episode 2, Fun Times in DC. Maybe you want to travel nurse just so you can go around and eat food. I know I do. One of my favorite cities to go visit is New Orleans. Oh my gosh, this city is so cool when it comes to food. They have so much great food. Make sure you visit. The next city I want to talk about is Chicago. First off, I'm probably a little bit biased when it comes to the pizza. The Chicago deep dish is my favorite in the entire world. I love it. It's absolutely fantastic. Hope you get it when you're there. Love this city. Can't wait to visit again. San Francisco, what can I say other than I absolutely love the Chinese food. The food here, the culture, the people, this is a really cool city. I love visiting every time I'm there. When you're there, please hit Pier 39. This is another little beautiful park. The sea lions are so cool. Maybe you don't want to do it though just for the cities. Maybe you want to go visit the national parks. This is Carlsbad National Cavern of New Mexico. Just north of this is another park called White Sands National Park. Both of these are really beautiful, and I really enjoyed my time in New Mexico. They have such beautiful national parks. Going on over to Arizona, this is a really popular choice for travelers. They always have so many jobs in the Phoenix, Tucson area. A lot of travelers like to visit in the wintertime, and I have a feeling I'll be there eventually. Scrolling on up into Michigan, we have Lake Superior State National Shoreline. This is 42 miles of just beautiful sands, sandstone formations, and green water all along the coast. It's really beautiful, and I love visiting in the summer. Going over to Oregon, this has been one of the states that really surprised me at how beautiful it is. They have beautiful coastline. It goes all the way up, and it changes so much, and it's not that big, but I mean, it really is absolutely beautiful. We were able to drive it in just one day, and amazed at how beautiful it is. But another great thing about Oregon is that as soon as you get off the coast, it goes into this beautiful mountain ranges. Scrolling on up into Washington State, we've got part of the Cascade Mountains, and mountains are something that we just don't have where I'm from in the Midwest. So when you get out to all these beautiful mountain ranges, it's just like it's a completely different culture, and it's a completely different lifestyle, and like the mountains are so beautiful. I love them. Just going on down to California, you can see that they have really beautiful mountains as well. I love the California mountains, and I've been able to explore them quite extensively. I love them. Los Padres National Park, this is just north of Los Angeles. It's pretty close. In Ventura County. Listen, have you dreamed big enough? I don't think so. We got more to cover coming up next. Let's take a little break. Now this is the part of the show where we're going to take a closer look. Every week's going to be a little bit different what we look at, depending on where my mind decides to take us. But there's different aspects of travel nursing that we just don't always think about that really do deserve a closer look. So you want to be a travel nurse throughout the USA. Chances are you're going to be flying a lot, or in some way you're going to end up in one of these cities in the US. One great way to experience those cities is using something called City Pass. First off, let's state that I am not sponsored by City Pass, and I have no disclosures to announce. These cities on here are pretty popular, and I just like using this because it's a great way to see all the major attractions in the city if you're like your first weekend there or your first couple days there, and it's fun, and it also saves you money. I remember the New York City one saved me like $250 to $300. I've done Boston, San Francisco, New York City, Denver, and Chicago. They usually are the top city attractions, so be prepared for crowds on the weekends. From the time you first use your pass, you usually have 9 days to finish up the pass, so you can't do this one weekend and then finish up a year later. You need to finish up within that 9-day period. But because it is the most popular tourist attractions in each city, it's really great, especially if you don't want to plan things out or you don't have time to plan things out. You just want to go to Chicago and do the top 5 touristy things, and it's just easy to do. I've had nothing but good experiences with City Pass, and I'm going to give it the Travel Nurse thumbs up.
I don't know about that, Travel Nurse Gary. I mean, the City Pass you're talking about, it doesn't even have Canada on there. It doesn't seem very authentic to me.
That's not actually true, Toronto is on this list of cities to visit. It's the most populous city in Canada and is usually always on the top 5 largest cities in North America. It's very similar to the size of Chicago, I'd say. I always fly out of Toronto International because Air Canada actually always has cheaper international flights than Delta out of Detroit. City Pass has the top 5 city attractions, but I highly recommend that if you are visiting to see the Toronto Maple Leafs, it's always a great time to see hockey in Canada. I've been to Toronto a lot, and I really like to visit in the spring actually when the tulips are blossoming. I also recommend picking up breakfast at the St. Lawrence Marketplace. Now, have I got you dreaming big enough to go visit Toronto for the first time? Apply for your passport, leave the country? I hope so, because in between contracts you need to take time off to keep yourself from getting burnt out. That's why you need to visit Europe and watch the sunrise come up over Stonehenge. And take some of your times off to go visit the parks overlooking Paris. Maybe you're feeling a little bit more adventurous though, and you want to go visit a 10th century Moorish castle overlooking Sintra, Portugal. Or maybe you want to watch the sunset on the Danube River in Budapest. Maybe that's not your thing though, and you really want to go see the Phantom of the Opera at Her Majesty's Royal Theatre in London, England. Maybe you want to try new experiences and you want to meet new friends in Madrid and go out for adult beverages and tapas. Although maybe you really want to go do palaces in Vienna, Austria, here at Schomburg's. There's some other really beautiful palaces you should check out. This is in Sintra, Portugal. It's called the Pina Palace. It's also a really beautiful palace. Now let's go back to Hungary and watch Hungarian Parliament on the Danube River. Now, I love art museums. Maybe art museums are your thing, and you definitely need to visit the Belvedere Palace in Vienna. Well, wait. Maybe that's not big enough. Maybe you want to visit the Rainbow Mountains of Peru. At 17,200 feet, this is no joke of a climb. Make sure you know what you're doing before you go. Now, let's go to the Iguazu Rainforest in Brazil. This rainforest has over 17 miles of waterfalls and is absolutely stunning. Now let's go to Machu Picchu. This place is absolutely beautiful as well. Make sure you're taking a full day to enjoy this place because it is absolutely amazing. Now I want you to dream so big that this is just a normal way you spend a Tuesday. I want you to dream so big, dramatic pause, that this is just a random walk down your back alley. No matter what your goals are, I want you to dream big because you can accomplish all of your goals that you set out to do in the next 5 years. I did, so can you. Now I want you to keep on dreaming. It's important to dream, but more important than dreaming, it's important to have goals. Next month, we're going to talk about goals and putting plans into actions in the first step of travel nursing. That's next month's episode on the Everything Travel Nurse Show. Now that is all we've got here at the Everything Travel Nurse Show this week. If you like this channel, please go ahead and subscribe. We'd really appreciate that. Not only can you subscribe, but please share it to your friends. And if you liked it, please give the Canadian thumbs up. Really appreciate it.
So there's this couple here that has been watching me for like the last 10 minutes doing my Canadian salsa scene, and they're literally pointing at me right now. I don't know what to do. It's really so awkward. Actually, I know exactly what to do. Hey, you guys want to do some Canadian salsa dancing with me? Guess not, eh?